here, I mean, this may be something that's persuasive to folks if you're trying to fundraise. You know, this is carpetbagger money. These are people outside of California. It's a huge money machine. So, you know, why are we letting them decide what we want to do here as Californians? And
that's a perfect point. And the other point is, if anyone says to you, "Oh, you're so going to win that thing," I heard the sharp intake of breath.
Yeah.
Let me just say, that's what you need to carry to them, because this is a dogfight, and given the pace that they are on for fundraising right now, of course, we think in the next couple of weeks we're going to raise another $7 million. We've got money out there. We've got the best fundraisers in the business. We're turning over our entire operation at NCLR to raise money for this. We're asking our colleague organizations to do the same. People could do more. We think they will do more. We think we will be able to match them dollar for dollar. I'm just saying at this moment in time, no one should be complacent about what we're facing. We've already started buying media. We did a $7 million media buy. It's clear we're going to need to double that in the next week. Buying media time now is cheaper than waiting 2 weeks. It's another reason why early money is so good. So again, I realize this isn't a fundraising moment, but people sitting here could know people who could write a $25,000, $100,000, a $200,000 check. If you do, this is where you make history and could really change the tone and tenor of our possibility. Donald Wildman, who is the president of the American Family Association, one of the most vitriolically anti-gay organizations in the country, was writing about Prop 8. And this is what he said: "If we lose California, if they, meaning us, defeat the marriage amendment, I'm afraid that the culture war is over." Okay, so let's be clear. He gets what's at stake. And we have to have that same sense of the moment that we are in. We can change history. We can change what the next chapter is around LGBT issues by just leaving it all on the floor. Now, all the lesbians understand that analogy, but for the gay man in the room, sports analogies just never work. So, what it means, those of us at NCLR, me, Chris, Donna, the rest of our board, Lisa, our staff, we are going to wake up November 5th knowing that there is nothing more we could have done. We are a $4 million organization. That is our annual budget. By the time all is said and done, we will have probably raised and given to the campaign $2 million. 50% of our budget will go to this fight. So we're going to wake up the morning of November 5th knowing that there's nothing more we could have done. Some of it's money, some of it's time. If everyone in this room and everyone you know wakes up November 5th and says to themselves the same thing, there is nothing more that I could have done. Whatever that is, there is nothing more that I could have done to defeat Prop 8, then we're going to win. So it's about that message. We've got the team. Don't worry about that. We're going to get the resources. If you can help us, that's what we need. You're going to help continue to change and turn hearts and minds.
Okay.
Yes, Bobby.
Is there any attempt to tap some of the businesses who are benefiting from gays and lesbian marriage?
That is such. Somebody just raised that yesterday. I was at Google yesterday, and yeah, and they are, and that was a great suggestion. We have a business council that's been set up. You know, PG&E made this historic $250,000 gift. So I was just on the phone earlier today with some of the key people involved in the business council, saying, okay, every florist, even the non-gay ones, every, caterer, contact every single business that is benefiting from, because the fiscal impact statement that you saw on the amendment, that is a direct result of the money that people spend. Marriage is a huge business. I had no idea how expensive it was. Like I buried myself. And, we tried to do it on the cheap, but let me just say, that is like impossible to do. Especially when, your girlfriend is a femme. There's no way it's going to be cheap. So I do think, we have infrastructure people, and if you have other corporations that you think should be a part of that business council, whether they can give endorsements or lend their name, or give money, any amount, again, any amount is accepted. It's going to be, a huge amount of this is going to be about the money.
Yeah, I'm going to talk
Just 1 second. That $10 million figure that's up there, is that strictly government impact, or is there a greater economy projection as to what the numbers would be for the florists, for the hotels, for the resorts that are involved as well, and what they're going to lose? Has that been projected?
I don't think it has. I think it's been mostly, well, we didn't have, the Williams Institute just did a whole analysis, but the Office of Fiscal Analysts, which estimated that number, did not have those figures. So part of what we talked about yesterday when this issue came up was that getting those numbers out there, because I do think it's probably 2, 3, 4 times the $10 to $20 million figure, because that wasn't considered in. But we do have that data now from a reputable organization that knows how to crunch those numbers. So we will try to get that out. And if there's anybody that you think will be influenced by any of that, you just let us know.
Okay, I'm going to talk for a few minutes about the resources that we have mobilized for you and that are sitting in your hands. You might not be aware of it. And some of the things that you as lawyers can do. And some of you non-lawyers. Happy to have you. One thing that the task force did, one of the first things we did is we compiled a document which is in your materials. It's stapled as part of this ecological two-sided, two-page thing. It's not the first document on there. It has a little Bar Association logo up there. It's called Defending Fundamental Rights and Equal Protection for All Californians, 10 Ways Lawyers Can Fight to Defeat Proposition 8 and Preserve Marriage Rights. This is available on the Bar Association website, which I point out to you because this document is an excellent thing to disseminate like a virus among all of your friends. When you go to a wedding, I have gone to so many weddings this summer, I never would have thought it possible. You talk to people about Proposition 8, and they say, oh, I hadn't really thought about that. When you go to your office on Monday, you shoot an email to them, and you attach this document, if they happen to be lawyers. And what that does is it gives them very concrete information about what they themselves can do, and it also contains links whereby they can easily go and link to some of the resources that the campaign has pulled together and some of the resources that we have pulled together, and it's all available live on this one electronic document. So I would urge you to read the 10 Ways document, and then I would urge you to spread it around. Some of the links I want to point out to you as potentially useful for yourselves and other people include number 3, a toolkit about writing articles, letters, and blogs. We also have available on the 10 Ways, of course I don't see it right now, but I do know it's there, the letter to the editor that Jim Brosnahan wrote to the recorder, which was a very powerful and moving statement about why lawyers in particular should oppose Prop 8. And that's another very nice document to send to people. It's a real advocacy piece, and there's no reason why we can't all write our own advocacy pieces similar to Jim's, whether they go on blogs, whether they go on letters to the editor. I've become one of those crazy Chronicle posters. I know it's embarrassing, but I might as well confess it. Now, I won't tell you my handle, if that's what they call it, because then you'll know it's me. But I've become this person who writes these, posts. I comment on articles. I send letters to the editor. We should all be doing this. Let me tell you, it takes a lot of time. I don't really recommend it, but it's important. Another very important item and resource on this page is with regards to making a financial contribution. We really can't talk about that enough, but it's also possible to make people's eyes start rolling